Okay, in this module, we're talking about the impact of acquired brain injury on occupational performance. And as you have gone through your readings, you can imagine that all areas of occupational performance can be affected by acquired brain injury, but it really depends on the location and the severity of the damage to the brain. So, for example, the impact on occupational performance and the progression of recovery or loss of function really depends on client factors and the personal factors and environmental supports of the individual. So, for example, the person with a severe brain injury who is in a minimally conscious state or is comatose following their brain injury, they will have limited function in all of these areas and how they engage in meaningful function. So they might have deficits in motor, visual, perceptual, cognitive client factors, and the recovery might be more gradual as they're regaining function and being able to participate in meaningful occupation. For the person with maybe a brain tumor, specifically a malignant brain tumor, the pattern of occupational performance may be reversed, where they have more gradual loss of functional abilities as maybe their condition worsens, contributing to maybe a decrease in quality of life and an increase in caregiver burden. So really thinking about the nature of the brain injury and the severity of the brain injury. So specifically talking about, ADL or occupation, all ADLs can be impacted by the acquired brain injury, and the level of function can be impacted by the severity of the brain injuries, as I was saying. So most individuals who have mild or moderate TBI or traumatic brain injury, they will potentially recover functioning in their ADLs. Those with more severe traumatic brain injuries, however, they may have residual deficits and require assistance and adaptations for months, weeks, years. So we really need to consider that as the OTs, how we do the training and make those recommendations. So for somebody with, or considering instrumental activities of daily living, despite the acquisition of basic ADL skills, independence in community living might be difficult for somebody with an acquired brain injury. They might have difficulty with paying bills and managing appointments and staying on track with money based on their visual, cognitive, physical deficits and the severity of that brain injury. Health management for people with acquired brain injury, the ability to manage, develop, and maintain their health and wellness might be impacted, again, based on those physical and cognitive limitations. And if you think about the person with the brain tumor, how that health management is impacted with ongoing chemotherapies or other methods of managing their cancer. Rest and sleep. It's very common to see disorders of sleep with people with acquired brain injury. And then thinking education and work based on visual, perceptual, cognitive, physical deficits. This might be another area that's very challenging for people to return to. Play and leisure and social participation might also be impacted based on all of the factors that we've talked about and the psychosocial, psychological impact of brain injury, and maybe how somebody feels that they've changed, and maybe they're limited engagement in social participation because of how they feel and how they look, and depression and anxiety. That's very common with people who've had a brain injury and people who have a brain tumor. If we think about that social participation and maybe the person with a brain tumor's social environment, people are feeling insecure or uncomfortable being around them because of the nature of the brain tumor, if it's a malignant brain tumor. So lots of things to think about. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and have a great rest of your day.